Is Joseph Kelen, and this is why I believe I should be the future legal mind 2020. The world is changing. We live in a time where the government has declared war on the coronavirus, closing borders, ending public gatherings, and also ending, in certain circumstances, trial by jury and public hearings. Extraordinary times, extraordinary measures. Yet it is in these times when the law is most important, when the potential for abuse might equally arise. The government has given itself 2 years to hold these powers. In New Zealand or Canada, 3 months. In the EU, the undemocratic EU, 15 days. Now, one might ask whether, in such period, such abuse might be possible, might be allowed. As Boris Johnson might quote Cicero, "In times of war, the law should fall quiet to the call of arms." Yet it is also in times of war that the law is most under threat, and we can't allow ourselves to become complacent with a situation in extraordinary times, so that they also become normal. I believe the role of the lawyer will have changed once the coronavirus ends. We will be more used to a state intervention in our economy and in our lives. Our lives more broadly will have become more digitally focused, and we will become more self-isolated, more self-interested, forgetting those that we never got to see or never did see in the first place. And therefore the role of the lawyer will also change. A lawyer must be data savvy and able to adapt and understand how abuses might arise, particularly given the fact that most of our lives are now governed by Amazon and Facebook as we try to keep up a semblance of normality. We must also be able to stand up to authoritarianism in whatever form it takes, particularly given the fact that potentially these powers could go beyond what is reasonably necessary, or we may become complacent to these extraordinary measures being seen as more normal. I believe my own experiences and my own skills can bring something to this. My background is behavioural science, and in that I studied human rights and analysed how the government could potentially abuse human rights online. I've also experienced as a human rights monitor, both in police stations domestically, but also challenging authoritarian governments in Cambodia, Kashmir and Sri Lanka. As a future lawyer, we will need to be resourceful, resilient and independent. Whether that's challenging the appointment of the chief executive of Hong Kong to my college as an honorary fellow, coming top of my year of international law at Cambridge University, or simply working night shifts in a homeless shelter, I believe I've shown these skills, and that is why I should be Future Legal Mind 2020.